Alright guys, today we are going to be talking about Joe Blackburn's thread on PvP. Now, before we get into my thoughts, we're going to go through obviously this long thread and we're going to talk about everything. Just want to say first of all that Joe is a good guy, and I'm really assured that with him as assistant game director for Destiny 2 is definitely going in the right direction. I even played trials with Joe Blackburn way back in the day, took him flawless with the homie Kuj. I don't know if he remembers, but yeah, so I've played with him. He's a good guy, and anything I say that's in a negative manner, it's not directed towards him in particular, because I really do feel like he has, the best interest for the game at heart. However, I do have some, real problems with some of the things in this thread, and I've already made my feelings clear on my own Twitter account, and I've already been attacked left, right, and center by so many people who, I don't know, man, it doesn't matter what Bungie do, what they say, they can do no wrong in the eyes of some players. And you know what, fair enough, but I'm just a person, a player, a content creator, someone who's been playing Destiny since it came out back in 2014, someone who absolutely loves PvP. My primary motivation for playing Destiny is PvP, okay? So that is my point of view before I get into what I think about it. Obviously, we'll go through it and take a look at it. I'm sure you guys already know about this thread and you've seen it and you've watched other videos on it. So I'm not going to do a full word for word read through of this thread. We're just going to go through it and we're going to talk about my thoughts on it and why I think it's simply just not enough for Bungie to put this out there. Okay, so here we go. Ahead of the showcase this month, I wanted to take a little time to talk about Destiny PvP. Now, this is the first time someone in Joe's position, like assistant game director, has done this and spoken about PvP probably since Forsaken. And Forsaken came out in 2018 and we are now in 2021. It has been years of radio silence from Bungie on development for PvP activities. The only real thing we've ever been given in this time frame is sandbox updates, and that's not the same as changing the core of Crucible, adding new modes and maps and so on and so forth. He goes on to say, competitive modes are part of what makes this game special. I can't imagine a version of Destiny 2 that doesn't involve getting a sweet new gun and taking it for a spin in the Crucible. This is a good point. This is a unique gameplay loop for Destiny that many players enjoy, myself included. I'll go and do a Nightfall, I'll go and do a raid, I'll get some awesome gun, and I'll take it into the Crucible. That is my bread and butter, and I'm sure it's the same for many other players. You like to do that, right? PvE to PvP. It's that unique loop. It's what makes Destiny different from every other live service game, and it really underlines the importance of PvP. Okay? So he says we've spent a lot of our future-facing effort on plussing up the current Crucible experience, stasis balancing, reputation updates, shifting weapon metas, so on and so forth. Next season, you'll continue to see this effort, not only with changes to 3-peaking, but also what the team has been planning for the revamp of Trials of Osiris. Tune in on the 8th to the 24th for more info. This is a really, an encouraging thing that he says. We've got to keep our foot on the gas when it comes to revitalizing PvP pursuits and keeping gameplay metas fresh. This isn't something we'll ever be done with. So that's again a really good comment, and I'm really encouraged to see that. The first half of 2021 we've been working on the foundation, but now we're spinning up the teams on new maps and modes. We believe in this investment, but it's going to take some time before you start seeing results in game. Now this is where I start to have a problem. Now they have to realize, guys at Bungie, how disappointing this is to read when they say it's going to take some time. It's already been over 670 days, I believe, since we've had a new map in the game. So we've already been waiting a very long time, almost 700 days for one new map to be added to the game. So that for them to now say it's going to take some time when it's already taken a massive amount of time with absolutely nothing, this is just simply not good enough in my opinion. Now, some people might hate me for saying that. It's just the truth and how I feel. It's just not good enough. We've been waiting for 600 plus days already. Now, again, I understand in the future maybe things will improve, but the fact that they're making us wait a full year from now for one new map is not good enough. We've already been waiting 2 years already. So like, it's really disappointing. Again, like I said, I'm hopeful for the future. They are adding some, they're going to add new modes, they're going to add Rift, they're going to revamp Trials. These things are great, but you know, reading this, like, new maps take time to get right. So to open the faucet for season 16, the team is working on porting 2 vaulted Destiny 2 maps. Now, again, this is just really painful to read, man. So in season 16, when Witch Queen launches, all we're getting for PvP is 2 maps that they themselves removed from the game. I can't put into words to you how crushingly disappointing this is as a PvP enthusiast. Like, so when Witch Queen drops, I have to look forward to 2 removed D2 maps. Now, they've already spoken on this, and they explain it here. When we upgraded our engine with Beyond Light, it means we had to hand port all of our Destiny 2 maps and modes. So while it may seem from the outside like we're just pushing a button, there's a significant lift from the team to get more of this content back in rotation. Now, I understand that, but at the end of the day, if you're a consumer and you're a PvP player, as a consumer, you're a PvP guy, right? And you've been waiting 2 years now and you haven't had anything, right? And now they're saying, with the big yearly DLC that's coming out 6 months from now, we're gonna get 2 maps that they themselves removed from the game. Like, how are PvP players supposed to be excited by this information? Now, if he said when Witch Queen's dropping, we're getting 2 brand new maps, then I'd be like, all right, okay, it's not amazing, you know, 2 maps after waiting over 600, 700, 800 days, whatever it is. That's not, you know, it's not amazing, but it would be decent, okay? I'd be happy with that. 2 reprised D2 maps that you yourself removed from the game when no one asked you to do that. When we paid for these maps already and you removed them and now you're bringing them back, it really does not sit right with me, man. It leaves a real sour taste in my mouth, and I'm sure a lot of other players feel the same way as I do. Now, they also go on to say, after reprised maps in Season 16, Season 17 will come with a brand new map. There are a bunch of new environments in Destiny 2. Now, just for some perspective, okay? It's already been like 600 odd days since we've had a new map in the game. Season 17, if I'm to estimate correctly, we are led to believe Witch Queen will come out in February 2022, right? So that season will last at least 3 months. So season 17 will be May 2022. That's little under a year from now. And what that means is, by the time that season 17 rocks around and we get this 1 new map, it will be over 900 days since we have had a new PvP map in the game. And in my honest opinion, you know, they finally decided to speak about PvP. You know, this is the time when they should have been saying, look, this is what we've been working on and it's going to be ready now. But instead, they're not, you know, they haven't even started working on these things, it seems like. And they're basically saying, yeah, look, so in a year from now, you're going to have 1 new map. So my question is, what have they been doing for PvP in the last 2 or 3 years? PvP players have been buying the DLCs every year. The annual releases are all bought and paid for by PvP players. And what have you given us back in return for that? Basically nothing. And now, after waiting for 2 years, you're now telling us to wait another year before we get a new map. Now listen, I'm sorry, man. Guys, look, this is a massive studio. It's one of the biggest studios in all of gaming. They have a huge studio. They employ so many people. Your PvP community deserves to know why for the past 2 years you have seemingly worked on nothing as far as new maps go. And there has seemed to be not a single shred of evidence that there's even a PvP team that has been working on the game. It's just not good enough, guys. I know some people are going to hate me for saying this. It's whatever. I feel like I have to say this. Bungie need to hear this from someone who isn't going to mince their words, because getting honest feedback from a player who's been playing the game since the day D1 came out, and I've been there for every meta, I've been there for every content drought, I have been there from the beginning. I've been making content on this game since 2015. And I'm just telling you guys now, this is not good enough, man. I appreciate the transparency from Joe. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Joe's a great guy. And, you know, there's loads of really exciting stuff here. They're talking about bringing back Rift. You know, they're talking about new modes, you know, revamping the core of the Crucible. You know, this is good stuff. But listen, man, I know like resources and all of that, it's very, very difficult for, you know, guys at Bungie, you know, to make the maps, and it takes time. Listen, guys, if anyone at Bungie is watching this video, by the time Witch Queen comes out, if it's possible for you guys to have at least one new map by the time Witch Queen comes out, which is 6 months from now, please consider doing that, because I can't explain to you how depressing it is as someone who enjoys PvP to know that when Witch Queen comes out, the only thing that we're getting are 2 maps that they themselves pulled from the game. Like, if it's possible, man, try and drop one new map by the time Witch Queen comes out. Guys, we've been waiting for over 670 days. PvP players are dedicated to Destiny. We are part of the community. We are part of your player base, and we deserve better than this. And by any industry standard, this is so far from not good enough that it's hard to really articulate how poor this is. And again, like I said, if anyone at Bungie is listening, try and, I don't know if it's possible, but if it is somehow possible, please try and deliver more than 2 reprise maps for Witch Queen. It is just not good enough. Halo Infinite is coming out, the new Battlefield game is coming out, and years upon years upon years of neglect of the PvP community is dwindling down the player base to basically nothing, and eventually it will die out because you can't keep doing this. Like I said, guys, if they go on with this current plan that they have, it's going to be 900 days between the last new map and the one that we're going to get in season 17. Now, if anyone at Bungie is listening, 900 days in between release of a new map for a game that is, you know, marketed as a PvE and PvP game. Come on, guys, this is not enough, man. Like I said, it's great that they've spoken and they've finally given us some transparency, and I really appreciate what Joe's saying. But yeah, I just don't know how I can possibly hype this up for you guys. Obviously, I'm a PvP guy. I'm a content creator. I love this game. I love the community. I love everyone that supports my channel. Got much love for you guys, and I'm not going anywhere. I'll be making content when Witch Queen drops. But this will be the 3rd DLC in a row where deep down inside, I'm just not a happy player because they aren't delivering the things that I want. And I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. And yeah, I'm not going to drag this video out any longer. I've been talking for like 13 minutes uninterrupted. They were my thoughts. I know a lot of you guys wanted to know what I think. There you go. Peace out, guys.